Mike DeLisio.
I'm Cliff Flash.
And we are here, psychically and physically, to show off some very, very cool elements of a game that we've actually covered here on this channel a number of times. This is the Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. I always tend to want to say 4, Cliff. I have no idea why. Of the Second Era. And this is obviously based off of a beloved IP. Do you have any background at all with the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, any of those video games?
Just hearing about other people enjoying them.
Yeah. It is something that I am but a novice in. I played Skyrim, and I played a little bit of Morrowind, which was another earlier version of it. And all of those things are in this game. So it's a huge love letter to fans of the Bethesda games. So Chip Theory is known for having deluxe components right out of the box. But we're showing off some extra special stuff today. We're showing off even more deluxe components that have not been shown off on the on this channel here before, and so I'm excited to show you those. Now, we're going to be doing that, and we can cut over here to the table, sur la table. We're going to be showing off these components, and doing so just by going over this the jailbreak scenario, right, where we're trying to break out. And if you've played this game, or if you've seen other videos about this game, you may have already come across this this little scenario. The purpose of it really is for people that are just getting into the game, and they want to have a bit of a interactive tutorial, right? That this is going to lead to you being able to get classes, because what you do in the game is you choose a particular race that you're going to be playing as, and then you pick some particular skills that you are going to get proficient in, that you start off proficient in. And this little scenario is a way to kind of gain achievements that give you some choices of classes that you can have. So we're going to go through that. We're going to take our time. This is going to be a tactical and very thinky battle here, okay? But let's both talk about what our starting builds are, and do so by showing off some very cool extra deluxe components. So right now we're actually looking at Cliff's player area here, and you'll see that Cliff is an Argonian, okay? Cliff is an Argonian, and he has a couple of starting skill lines. Number one is, what do you got there?
I have a one-hand and shield ability.
Yep.
And that works off of my stamina, which I have 3 of to start with, as indicated by my sweet Argonian card here. It gives me the shield discipline, so while using it, it shows me all the different dice that I can use, and a special ability that comes with at level 1, and then what that looks like if I level it up throughout the game as you would progress through the Black Marsh and campaign. I also have the combat other dice here, and they also show me all the different abilities that I can get and what I can use those for if I were to exhaust them and put them in my cooldown, or utilize any of these other abilities. And these are pretty basic, easy, level 1 abilities. The game comes with so many other pieces that you can add to, that you can incorporate, and so this kind of saves you a lot of table space.
Yeah, it does.
With the little portfolio here. So if you're not the kind of gamer that can keep their game on their table all weekend because the wife and the kids don't let you do that, you have a way to put this in the box again and save your game for next time. Those are the starting abilities I think I'm breaking out of jail with.
And Cliff, I'm going to need you to calm down a little bit, because you're not taking my job, all right? I spent about 15 minutes telling Cliff what's going on, and he's already much more proficient and knowledgeable in this game than I am. But well done there. Yeah, so you're playing as an Argonian, which is, obviously part of the lore of this series. And I'm playing as a dark elf, okay? Again, these were the suggested kind of starting builds for this jailbreak scenario. But if you're playing the game, you can just start by picking, a particular race you want to play as. You can, go ahead and pick whatever your skill lines are going to be. And you can even pick your class. But this is a fun way to kind of do it and just walk you through some of the basics of the game. And so, yes, I've got this lovely, if it's not leather, it sure feels like it. It's probably at least leatherette, if there's such a thing. It's rich Corinthian leather, which I found out actually means nothing. There's no such thing as Corinthian leather. But yeah, this is really nice because it shows it off very well. These are basically housing the normal kind of cards that you would have here. Okay. Oh, that's not going to show up on that. I'll show you later. It's all right. But these are the kind of the PVC cards anyway, so they're already high quality coming out of the box. And you could see just sneaking underneath here a massive playmat, okay, that takes up almost the entire area of this play table that we're on. And so you're only seeing a small part of it, and we're actually truncating things a little bit. There's an actual space for every one of these things that we're not showing just for the purposes of this overview. And so you can kind of focus on the action here. But yeah, these are nice. They just slide right in there, and also have places for your skill line. So combat is something that everyone's going to start with, right? You have some basic combat dice. And I have a destruction staff, which is a magicka line. And I've got the 2 dice here that are associated with I think it's a destruction staff. I don't need my glasses for that, but I'm going to put them on anyway. All right. And so what these do is these give you an idea of not only what faces are on the dice, but what they do. We're getting a little glare here, but we'll be able to see a little better. I'll put up on a green screen later on. Okay. So very, very cool. And then when you get items, like right here, we have a potential item we can gather from this cache chip and slot those in there. And so you've got a nice little place to keep your items organized. So this is very cool. This is the first time I'm seeing these. And so that's very, very nice. Okay. All right. So Dark Elf, Argonian, we're going to be going into battle here on this skirmish mat.
I forgot to say, I also have a superpower. I suppose all of them probably do. Once per battle, when would be dealt damage, I can prevent the damage.
That's pretty fantastic. Yes, and I am dynamic, which means that once per battle during my turn, I can recover any 4 skill dice from my cooldown track, which is down here. There you can kind of see it. That's fine. And then replace that with light fatigue, which are these grayish dice that really just kind of clog up your cooldown area, right? So there's a powerful element, but you also do get a little bit of a negative here in that you're kind of going to have to burn through some light fatigue. All right, let's talk about some other little upgrades that we have to show off here. We're in the main one now. So the first player marker was already one of their really cool chips. I mean, they're called Chip Theory. They've had these pretty substantial poker chips for a long time. And so in this Super Deluxe, we're replacing that with an actual metal piece. Oh, look at that. Yes. That's classy right there. I'm going to tell you what, you head into your local Ross Dress for Less wearing one of these, and you are going to get incredible, impeccable service because they know you're a high roller at the Ross Dress for Less. Look at that. Okay, so that's a really, really nice player piece. Other upgrades, these damage chips, okay? These are the super premium. Now, the regular chips, this would be a regular chip, is again standard. It's hefty, it's weighty, it's got some nice heft to it. It's got round mouth feel if you happen to eat them, which I don't recommend. But these are specifically more weighty. These are more like the standard chips. Or I should say standard in like these chips. Whoop. The regular ones are still nice, but they're more plastic. This is really, really substantial, right? It's got a little more heft, and you really feel the weight. When you take an injury, you feel the weight of that life force draining from you, right? All right. There we go. So those are upgrades. These books are clearly upgrades. This this table mat is a huge upgrade. Everything else you're seeing is standard in the chip theory fashion, where you've got the neoprene pieces for your boards, neoprene for your player boards. It's all very luxe. And then one other thing I can see is that this die is metallic, which tracks kind of like your rounds in a battle, okay? And standard would be a regular die, which is very nice, very, very nice, but not metal. Do me a favor, what would you guesstimate on the weight on that, Cliff?
Half a pound?
I was thinking 14 pounds, but you're probably closer. You're probably closer to the mark than I am. All right, so we're going over the jailbreak, as I mentioned, and so what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to potentially gain achievements, all right? So there are certain achievements, and I just went ahead and printed this. You can actually write in the book if you like to. But there are achievements here that you can potentially complete during this introduction. And so there are a number of them here. And what we're going to do is in a moment when I have Camilla throw a pen at my face with deadly accuracy, we're going to be able to check off which ones we complete throughout it, and we'll put our names next to the ones we complete, because afterwards we'll flip this piece of paper over, and that's going to give us some classes that we can choose from, all right? So that's one of the things we'll be doing throughout the game. I actually made Camilla leave the studio to get a pen. How can there not be a pen in here? Outrageous. Cliff, I don't blame you. All right. So that's the main idea behind this, is to walk people through the basics of a combat, movement, engaging, things along those lines, and then a fun way to kind of pick out some classes. All right. You want me to read the flavor text?
Yeah, let's read our scenario.
Let's read it. Okay. Yeah. You're not. Oh, no, that's all right. I felt bad you had to leave the room. All right. You awaken in a dark, rough-walled holding cell somewhere in Tamriel. And look, if I mispronounce these, give me a little grace. I'm not that steeped in the lore. All right, Tamriel. I'm going with Tamriel. You've been imprisoned for some charge or another, protesting your innocence in vain all the while. But it seems you're stuck here for the time being. As you resign yourself to some time cooling your heels behind bars, however, a weathered-looking redguard approaches your cell, clutching a key in his hand. You sit up and take notice. You there, he says in a coarse whisper. Hopefully corpse pretty soon, by the time I get through with him. Listen, my name is Bodine? sounds very Tamrillian. My name is Bodine. Definitely doesn't sound like somebody, in Nashville on Broadway. I represent a guild of like-minded individuals called the Outer Watch. We are small, preferring to remain behind the scenes, but we work for the betterment of communities all around Tamriel. We help people advocate for themselves, assist places that need it, expose political corruption, and more. You look at him blankly. You're in a jail cell, after all, and you've never seen him before in your life. Right, he says, remembering himself. I'm here because the Watch believes you have potential. Too much to be locked away here for God knows how long, subject to the whims of corrupt jailers. Now you're really paying attention. I will let you out of here, he continues, flashing his key. A little cruel. What you do after is up to you. The Watch needs good help these days, as one of our number, a wood elf named Deslandra, has gone rogue. She's decided that the Watch was thinking too small. That for justice to truly come to Tamriel, the only solution is to get rid of magic completely. She believes this will be the great leveler, keeping the magically powerful from preying on the weak. But how much would be lost in the process? We need to stop her, as her resources are considerable, but we won't force anything on you. This is, he chuckles, an unconditional release. Yeah, no, I'm not buying that. His key turns in the lock and he's gone. You consider his words, but before you decide how to make your way to Tamriel, you must first escape. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we are going to play through this jailbreak scenario. We've been handed the key, but there are a couple of different ways that we can win this scenario. Number one is we can defeat the two enemies that we have on this map.
Woo!
The other way is that we can both get to one of these three spots, which are exit points. And if we're there at the beginning of our turn, we can exit. If I, which I would never do, like raced up here and next turn said goodbye, you'd still be over here, right? We would only win and I wouldn't be here to help you. So I will not do that. I instead feel that we should band together and defeat our enemies here and maybe get some sweet, sweet loot as we do so. All right, so you can win either by escaping both players or by defeating both enemies. And this is just there to entice you. But I think since this is an achievement, we should really try to do this before this whole thing ends. So, speaking of enemies, what we have here is a chip bag, okay? This is 1 and 5 point enemies that would be placed within this bag. And so for this particular scenario, there were, 6 potential enemies, right? And we drew out the Argonian bandit and the High Elf bandit. And I did not just put those up there because that was what was suggested in the rule book. I definitely drew them out of this bag. But let's look. Let's look at some of the ones we didn't choose. We'll probably need to go to the main one for this.
You're on it.
Oh, hey. You do you.
Yeah,
You're fine.
You do a job, Mike.
You're fine. Okay. So let's look at one of these enemy chips. I like to call them baddie chips because that's what they called them in Too Many Bones. Anyway, so the Spriggan here is a level 1. All of the level 1 chips have level 5 enemies on the back. And so when you pull them from the bag, you just have to make sure that you are pulling them or putting them on the correct facing, okay? So this Spriggan, which is not out on the board right now, has some stats that we would have to look at, okay? Number one is here we've got the cool art, okay? Oh, good, I trimmed my fingernails recently. Did you look at that? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I can walk confidently through raw stress for less. The level, the type of enemy they are, there's different kind of families of enemies. That's not going to really impact us here, but it would later on in the game. This is kind of their priority list when they are going to be engaging. This is their health, which you would track by putting that number of health tokens beneath them. So in this case, you would take 4 health chips, stack them underneath that baddie, and then every time they lose a health, you'd remove one from them, okay? It tells you what their range is, which is 2. It tells them how many combat dice they roll, which this one doesn't roll any combat dice, but it does have a defense of 1. So any damage you did to this particular enemy, you would have to remove 1 first because it got blocked. Okay, it also has a keyword here, which is Bane, and there's a lovely enemy skills reference that would tell you what all of those do. Okay, so that's one of the ones that was not chosen. There's also a skeever pup that we might have had to engage with that had rot. Okay, it looks like a rat. Then we've got the skeleton, all right, which not a lot of health, right, but 2 defense. And then we could have faced off against a Wood Elf Bandit, all right, which had a fair amount of health, but no defense. When it says one range, that means you have to be adjacent to it. So it's essentially melee, okay? All right. So those are in the bag. But what we are facing off against, Cliff, is the Argonian Bandit, all right? So 3 health with the Bandit. They've got a range of 3. They roll 1 combat die, and they have 1 defense. They also have Enfeeble 1. So let's take a look at that so we kind of know what we're dealing with them. Enfeeble. After this unit's engaged, its target gains that much light fatigue. So in this case, whoever the Argonian Bandit is going to engage with, they're going to receive 1 light fatigue they have to put in their cooldown track. All right, which, yeah, that's no fun. You have to take one of these and put them in your cooldown track. I refuse. Okay, so that's its ability. We'll worry about the targeting when it gets to the point where they are doing their engage. All right?
We're trying to do 3 damage to that guy, and he blocks one every time.
He blocks one every time. We also have the High Elf Bandit, okay? 3 health, 4 range, no defense, and 1 combat die that it rolls. Enemies roll their own combat dice that you'll see. It also has dodge as its ability. All right. Which is, when this unit is engaged by an opposing unit, prevent damage dealt to this unit equal to the number of rolled skilled dice that do not do damage. So, essentially, every time that you roll a die that does not deal damage in one way or another, it's going to block that. So it has no inherent blocking, but there's a lot of potential blocking that can happen here if you roll poorly. And thankfully, it's not an issue for me because I never roll poorly, particularly when I'm on a live stream. All right? I'm impeccable. Inconceivable. All right.
The clutchest of dark elves.
Yes, the clutchest of all dark elves. So, on our turn, we're going to choose who the star player is, and they'll get that marker, okay? And we are each going to take a turn. And on our turn, we can move or engage, all right? The movement is tied into our stamina stat. So you have a base movement of 3. You're able to move 3. I'm a little bit slower. I can move 2, all right? If on any time on your turn, if you do not engage, you can take a second movement action. So if I didn't do an engage after my first move of 2, I could move another 2 if I chose to do so. However, I'm also a ranged character, so it's more likely I'm going to hang back a little bit anyway and try to, pew, pew, pew. That's the sound that a destruction staff makes. All right? So move and engage. And then when we have both done so, then we get to choose the order, and they're both going to move and engage as well. We'll talk a little bit about their rules, but essentially, they won't move if they don't have to, and they're both ranged. Right now, we're already in range of the High Elf Bandit, and if we move, we'll be in range of the Argonian Bandit as well. All right?
And we're already starting in our stances that are optimal for our starting position, but I assume we could move that on our turn as well.
You can do it before you actually engage, right? So you can move, choose your stance, and then go in there. So I'm glad you brought that up. So when you look at these, thank you. Man, you are fast. All right? When you use these, they show you what stances you can be to use those dice, okay? Combat, you can be in, I believe, this one, we're not going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this one right now, all right? You could be in any of those. But for the destruction staff, I have to be, we are getting a little glare from these sleeves, but they are nice. I have to be in that, there we go, in that stance, which I am on my player board, and you are in your stance for your one-handed shield.
One-hand shield and my combat, yeah.
Right. And the stamina also is going to determine how many dice we can roll, right? So you have 3 dice in your pool. You'd be able to roll 3 dice. I have 2, and so I will only be rolling 2, okay?
Makes total sense to me.
I love everything about it.
Chuck dice first?
You want me to chuck it? I'll be a chucker. Right. I'll be the chucker. All right, so there we go. I won't wear it, though, Cliff, because I don't want to.
You don't want to show off too much against me here.
That's correct. So we are in round 1 of this particular combat. If we go through round 5 and then go to round 6 and beyond, we then are in we've taken too long. And every round we're going to take a fatigue. And I believe it's like an over fatigue too, not a light fatigue, which is terrible. We don't want that. But let me tell you what, that ain't happening, Cliff. No, that ain't happening. We are on 1 XP. Just because we're doing this scenario, if you were starting without doing this, you would start on 2. And this day counter is not going to be on here. That wouldn't happen until we actually started going onto the overhead map of these and going into different scenarios and things along those lines. So again, this is an extension of the tutorial. All right, so let me think. Who do I want to target first? Enfeeble is rough because it could give me, it can certainly give me some light fatigue, but it is a little closer to me. And I have a range, if I only have a range of 2, don't I? What's my magic gonna do for me? Let me see what my destruction staff. So let's talk about the faces of my die, okay? So this is my destruction staff die. If I roll this face, this does 2 damage to my target, and this is on 3 of the 6 faces of my dice. All of that is laid out in my book here, okay? Then there's this face, and there's only 1 face of this on mine. This does 4 damage to my target and 1 true damage to any one adventurer. So it's so powerful that it's going to either hurt you or me, Cliff. Now, sadly, I get to choose. No, we're a team. We choose together. I would likely sacrifice myself. Now, one other face is this one right here, okay? And that would mean I would gain 2 tenacity, which is tracked on my player area, but it would not do any damage to the enemy. So the bottom line here is that with my destruction staff, I've got a 5 and 6 chance to not have to take any light fatigue. I feel relatively confident in doing that. I could roll the combat, and the combat die, 5 out of the 6 faces do some damage, and only 1 would not do any damage, okay? So I think what I'm going to do is get in range of the Argonian bandit here.
And so does that count as engaging him for his enfeeblement, or do you, when you're 2 away, are you not adjacent?
I'm still engaging him,
okay.
Right? And what will happen is that he will likely, because they want to move as little as they have to, he will likely engage and make me his target. But he has a range of 3, so he's not going to even move.
And then at that point, if you don't defeat him here, he would give you a light fatigue.
Well, the enfeeble will trigger when I attack.
Oh, after this unit's engage, is that from when it means this unit meaning the bad guy? Or?
So it says after this unit's engage, its target. Oh no, you're right. You're right. I was reading dodge. I was confused.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah,
guy. That's how that would work. No, yeah, he's going to give me a light fatigue after he engages with likely me. Okay. If he engaged with you for some reason, you'd get the light fatigue, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
It's possible we could take him out before he goes if we both bashed on this guy.
We could do that.
Okay, that might be the way to go.
The options are, I'd like to say they're limitless. There are limits, but it sounds better if I say our options are limitless. So I have to get within 2 of this disgusting Argonian bandit. I can't call it. You're an Argonian.
Yeah.
But you're not a bandit.
I'm not a bandit.
Right.
I'm a good, loyal, maybe serving this rebel group. I don't know.
Yeah. You might be helping out. All right. Let's go. 1, 2.
Okay. If you go there, I won't be able to reach him.
Oh, you want to try
engage.
to get him?
If I go that way, we could split it up.
Well, here's the only issue is that he'll target 2, and he's got a range of 4. So if you are also, he'll go after both of us.
He'll blast both of us.
If I go 1, 2, am I out of his range? 1, 2. No, I'm not.
Okay.
So you know what? It doesn't matter, honestly. I'll do this then. He's going to come after both of us.
That's fair.
That's all right. So I have moved. Now I am going to engage the Argonian bandit. Unfortunately, he does have 1 damage, or
blocks.
1 defense, I
Yeah,
should say.
he'll block.
But I'm going to roll both of my destruction staff dice here. All right, and let's see how much damage I can do. Mike has, oh yes, sorry, thank you. I have 3 range because the magic is based off the magicka. You are correct. You are correct. I'm glad, look, there will be people in this chat that know the game better than I. It's been a hot minute since I've played it. So do I stay back here?
He still gets you, unfortunately.
He still gets me, so I want to come up here.
He's ready.
Right. Yeah, he won't even move. Okay, so let me just roll these. Am I on? Yeah. Okay, well, that's a terrible roll, Cliff. That's what you call
All of our plans.
hot garbage. All right? So I get 1 tenacity, whoop-de-hoo, which does nothing for me right now in this little scenario, and it does no damage. Hey, that does some damage, but he blocks it. So what did that do for me? A whole lot of not much. Those go to my cooldown area, and my cooldown stat is at 2, which means that at the beginning of my next go-round, I'll be able to bring these back. All right. So that was my... I have a feeling you can do much better.
I'm hopeful.
Yep.
I'm hopeful. Now I have now the team up plan, I'm not sure it's going to work either way.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now I'm going to run over here, since we saw that went, and I'm going to try 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Engage this guy, and if I don't get any misses, his dodge ability won't work.
Correct.
Maybe I could do the 3 damage and take him out, and he won't get to hit us.
Look, I love that idea, Cliff. It's
good on paper, right?
It sounds good on paper.
And because I can roll 3 dice, I can use my regular attack and my other combat attack.
Because your combat stance works for all of those dice
right,
as well.
because I'm in that fighting stance.
Right.
So let's give that a try.
You're going to try to roll them on there? That's a bold maneuver.
That was it's
not off.
a good roll that's
We're gonna
not
keep
good
that.
enough.
No, but it's... Wait, why wouldn't it be? That's 2 damage.
Right, it's
And 1.
but he uses dodge because one of the dice
That's
is
correct.
Yeah, one of the dice is a miss. It's going to make another die a miss, and then we're going to get 2 damage in.
Okay.
Because he's going to use this to dodge this.
Yes.
And then
2 damage.
2 damage gets in, which is cool.
Yeah.
But not quite good enough.
Not quite good enough, and now those
and then
will go to your cooldown.
these dice will go to my cooldown, which I also only have 2 of, so I will only get 2 back.
You'll only be able to bring 2 back, right?
Hopefully it'll be enough to finish off this high elf bandit. But
I'm feeling pretty good with your ability to defeat that high elf bandit. All right, so that was round 1.
all right.
Round number 2.
So they go first, or should we do them before we turn the round die?
We do them before we turn.
Okay.
I can't emphasize to you enough how little I went over this with Cliff. All right. I'm glad you're here, Cliff. I'd be like floundering around. What's an Argonian? Who's a high elf? What am I doing? Why am I here? Where's the Ross? Okay. So we choose who engages first. Do you have any particular preference?
I'll suffer my penance of not finishing this guy off.
He's going to attack both of us. Okay.
Right.
So he's rolling 1 combat die, but it is going to affect us both. All right, because we're both within range of his attack, and so you want to well, why don't you roll it? I'm terrible.
Okay.
The shield result goes. Oh, sorry. Yes, your dice work a little differently. The shield ones. It should say. See if it says something about.
When you place this die in your active slot, deal X damage to your target. When you are dealt damage by an enemy, you may exhaust this die to prevent... Oh, they don't go straight into the...
They go into your active slots up here.
Active slots. But I didn't roll a shield on this one, so that one's still going to go down to the cooldown.
Okay.
And now I can use it to exhaust this die, move it down here to prevent some damage potentially.
Yes.
If it's in the active
David.
zone...
Mm-hmm.
If it's in the active zone, can we still use it for a combat later, or do I need to use it to get it back into this area?
I think you'll need to use it to get it back into that area. Yeah, I think to get back up here coming from your cooldown.
So I definitely want to block whatever we get coming into us here.
Yep.
So we got one
right.
coming in.
He's got one coming in is right. And so I will be taking un damage.
Exhaust this die and prevent the damage. Let's try that.
All right. Now we have the Argonian band.
Oh.
I keep wanting to like go to the next round and not have them do anything.
And he's going to shoot both of us also, but if I had come up this edge, then I could have stayed out of his range.
That's true, because he is going to be trying to damage.
And so that counts as he's engaged both of us?
Yeah, so we each are going to take
a light fatigue.
Light fatigue. It goes to the end, thankfully, of your cooldown track. So I'm not
at least
gonna,
we activated him in the right order.
We did. He rolls one combat die. You want to roll this one?
Sure. All right. He's got one coming in.
Yep, so
we each take a damage.
I'm already hurting a little bit here.
Getting low. Getting low.
Here's the nice thing is that if we fail, we're going again. We're going again.
We're not losing the introductory scenario.
No, I refuse. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring our dice back. I still have one light fatigue that's sitting in my cooldown, unfortunately. And I may be slightly doing the steps out of the things out of order, but generally speaking, this is what we're going to do. Okay.
And now we're on turn 2.
now I should be doing it, and I'm not doing it. Fantastic.
And
all right.
Now, does this pass, or we still choose who goes first?
That's a great question. Why don't I believe. I'm trying to remember if it stays or not. Does it matter? I don't think it matters.
Probably not.
Why don't you go first?
Okay. Can I take my action and then move?
Yes.
That's a thing I can do? Well, let's try and see if we can not have this guy dodge my attack again. And see how we do.
Ooh.
Oh, we fail. No, yeah, we fail. This is only a 1.
Yep.
So this gets me a tenacity.
Right.
Which is not so helpful now.
Yep.
And goes down here. Then because it's a side that didn't do damage, he'll block my 1 because of his dodge. And then this will go into my use it for blocking purposes.
Yep.
Now if I move, I don't know if it's helpful. Can I move around him?
In what sense?
Can I like use my movement to go here just to get out of the range of that archer?
Absolutely.
So we'll try that.
All right.
We're not doing amazing.
I would say we're not. Yes, I would say that what we're doing right now is not good. I think I need to get out of his range. Is there a way I can do that and still be within 3?
Perhaps because you don't. Perhaps you could come over and blast him. And then
we could just take him out. Now he could still hit me, but
he's gonna hate you probably no matter where you are.
Yeah.
But since I failed,
right? Okay, I can do that.
Call my dark elf buddy for help.
3. Yeah, because I can only move.
You can move 2, but shoot 3 because it's magic.
Oh, does this? No, I'm going to be in his range no matter what. You're right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do my destruction dice again, or my destruction staff again, and hope I do a little bit better than I did before.
I like it. I like the hope.
Okay, and both of these deal no damage.
Oh no! Oh no!
Are you kidding? That's a 1 in 6 chance.
When this unit is engaged by an opposing unit, prevent damage.
This is terrible. So I get a tenacity. Whoop-de-doo. This gives me 2 more tenacity, but then we have to take a damage as a team, one of us. Do you mind taking that?
I will definitely take this one since that guy's shooting at you.
This is terrible.
We are getting hurt. I'm not sure they wanted to free us from prison for their goals.
I think that what we've proven here is that we're not going to be very successful out on the Black Marsh.
Yeah.
All right, so that was both of our turns.
Their bad guys are going to go.
Yeah, they're going to go. Who do we want to have first? He's going to be targeting both of us. This one will not be targeting you.
Yeah, maybe we have this guy go.
Yeah.
Because that way, I don't know why.
That way I can die soon. Here we go.
Do you have a damage prevention ability?
I don't believe.
Superpower.
Thank you. No, mine is I can recover any 4 skill dice from my cooldown track, replacing each with light fatigue. You have one that allows you to prevent any damage once.
So hopefully you can live through this, and then we're going to get you out of danger and me into danger.
This has a 1 in 6 chance of not hitting me, so it's not looking great.
That's what we're going to root for.
Yeah. Nah. That's a hit.
1 damage.
All right, it's getting close. It's getting close. Oh, and I should have been paying attention to these achievements too.
I don't think we've done any.
Well, we definitely have because we've done take the first turn.
You did that, yes.
Take the first turn. Although we may end up having to replay this. First to take damage from an enemy at range 2.
You did that.
Okay. First to take damage from an enemy at range 1. Might be you, or has that already happened? That was you, Cliff.
Yeah, I got that.
We got all the take damage ones.
That's good. We didn't dodge everything.
No. We haven't escaped. We haven't defeated anybody. All right, so otherwise we're in a world of hurt. Okay, so
this guy's going to activate.
For both, and I could be dead. I want you to have this.
It's a 1 in 6 that you're not dead?
It's a 1 in 6 that I'm not dead, and I need to double check and make sure you still can do it.
If he doesn't deal damage, can I move this down, or I got to keep it up here?
I think you have to use it to move it.
I'm not getting it back for a while, so probably acceptable. Let's still hope for a blank.
Yeah, now Renee asked, we can move twice if we don't attack. That is true, but I'll be honest with you. I know the safer thing for me, as terrible I've been rolling, is to try to escape. I really want to take out the enemies here. Well, it ain't happening for your pal Mike DeLisio. I'm deed. All right, so you're on your own, Pally.
All on me now. Okay. I wouldn't want it to be too easy. So I get 2 of these back.
Yep.
One of them is a fatigue, though, so not too exciting.
Yep. You're rolling 1
this
die.
Time, right. And then we're on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're just going to hope that this...
We're doing so well.
So if this guy's not in range 3 of someone, does he make an attack? He'll find one?
He will move 2.
Okay. So
he'll move probably 1 to get within range.
He's going to find me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take my attack and see what we can do.
Andrew from Chip Theory is here just in time to see us lose this baby Haba scenario.
So I got my 1 damage in.
Yes!
Which gets an achievement of some sort.
Yeah, you defeated the High Elf Bandit, so that goes to Cliff.
And then I'm going to move 3. And I should have another light fatigue. Apologies, because no, he didn't engage me.
Yeah,
last
he has
time.
not engaged.
He's gonna do it here in a second.
Yep.
Which means I might as well just run over. Oh, geez, do I want to be greedy? Is it free to mess with these?
1000%.
It's free. Let's try.
Now he will engage before you do that, I believe. Wait, is that an action, or do you just get to do that? By doing that, he will have a chance to attack you, but you're in pretty good health, man. I wouldn't worry about that too much.
It's never going to hurt the Sargonian.
I can look that up, but like when you end...
Andrew's in the chat.
Yeah, Andrew might tell me here, but... Okay. No one say anything there. But let's just assume, whether we're right or wrong, I don't care. I want to show off this lock picking. So, you are attempting to gain the item here with this cache. Now it's a standard item as denoted by the green chip. And so therefore you are going to be doing this lockpick check, all right? Let's look at the card, okay? This is green, so unfortunately you're seeing colors that are off. So what this is telling you is that you are trying to reach these values by rolling 6-sided dice up to 3 times. You can mitigate by pipping up or down. Lockpicking is free, happens during your move. Thank you. You can mitigate by taking 1 light fatigue for every...
In the middle of a move.
Yeah, that's great. For every pipping that you do up or down. Now, it's not a wraparound from 1 to 6, unfortunately. But otherwise, you are trying to hit those 3 numbers. You can lock in dice at any time that you want to and re-roll up to 3 times. All right, so let's keep this right here.
I'm going to keep a 2 and a 3.
Whoa, look at that.
And then I have to decide, he's going to give me a fatigue, so I don't think I'm ever going to get this dice back anyway, but it's a tough call. I might be never getting any dice back again. It's going to be hard to beat him with 2 dice because he's got 3 help.
Well, but your light fatigue are going to go to the back of that line. You
Right. If I turn this to a 6 now, and then he gives me another one, I'm never going to see this die again. It's
well, not
be
for
a while.
yeah, not here. Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be a difficult, but I sure like to get it. Let's hope for the 1 and
you've got
6
two
that's
more
closer.
rolls, right?
Yeah, see if we can get there. That's
Okay.
more.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Now we'll spend 1 light fatigue
Make that a 6.
and pick it up.
And now you want to see what you have found out here on the field of battle.
The Nightwood Bow. The Nightwood Bow. For this engage, if it includes no combat skill dice, increase your range by 2. Does it come with dice? That'd be fancy.
Let's take a look here. Nightwood Bow. Okay. No, really what this does is it allows you to fight from a longer range as long as you're not using any of the basic combat dice. So if your regular range is 3 and you're using only non-combat dice, your range would be 5. Okay, so it basically kind of improves your range if you're not using combat dice. Also, there's an overtax that will allow you to gain something that is shown there. Now, go ahead and slot that into one of your items. Slots.
Very exciting.
Look at that. Oh.
Look how that worked out.
Oh my goodness. The luxuriousness it's almost overwhelming.
That's mine forever, or for the next 5 minutes, whatever happens.
Whatever happens first. Okay. And so now he's going to engage.
He engages me.
He does not have to move, so he will not.
I get a light fatigue because he's enfeebling me.
Yep, he is.
Oh, I should get these back at the end of my turn, though. Oh, no, that's at the end of the whole round.
I think so, but I don't know that it really matters at this point.
And then he's going to blast at me, which I will block with my shield.
Look at that.
And we're round 4.
Round 4. You can win either by escaping or by punching this Argonian bandit in the face. It's up to you.
I get 2 things back. I'm not sure I can. Well, I have a 1 and 6, I suppose. That's a ×2, and then a 1 and 6 that I would miss, but we'll try not to miss. So let's go for it. Let's give a move.
Okay.
And give him these old combat dice and see what's what. How about 2 damage?
Okay, he blocks 1, right?
He does block 1. So it's 1 and 36 actually to knock him out.
Yeah, very unlikely, but that's okay. You can always cut, chase, and run too if you feel like it. But
no, we're gonna just dance forever,
all right.
And then that die is gonna trigger that we said wasn't gonna happen. We're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff.
We won't be there yet because he's still going to engage, right?
So he engages. I get a light fatigue.
Yep. Because you're not going to get any dice back
This round,
yeah.
right? Yep.
Oof.
He blasts at me. 2.
Okay.
I'm going to use my superpower to once per battle not take damage.
I love that.
So we'll just ignore that.
Ignore it.
And then get rid of these.
Now we're to 5.
Take a turn. I stand here and look menacing. He will shoot at me again.
Well, no, you haven't attacked. You haven't engaged with him. Oh, because you just took the dice out.
Yeah, I took my dice out, and then I take my turn, and I don't think I can't use this, right? So I just can't do anything here. Mm-hmm. And so my turn is essentially standing there waiting for him to hurt me.
You've already done the. Oh, he's enfeebling you now.
He's enfeebling me.
I didn't do my first damage from the first roll. Did I do a damage to him? We can wait on this for a moment.
Rewind the tape?
Did I damage this Argonian bandit and then not remove?
Take a damage off?
Because if that's the case, things just got much more interesting for you, Cliff.
I have a reasonable chance if that's true.
You do have a reasonable chance. We're going to take a moment to admire the craftsmanship. That's stitching, right? That is stitching right there. Look at that. That's not just printed on there. Look at the fine stitching, right? Inside of the bag, could it have been black? Yeah, it could have been. They won't stand for that. No. This is a lovely looking, it's got a really, you rolled the 2 damage side, and I guess you only thought it did 1 damage. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so I'm not as useless as everybody watching the stream thought I am. So,
all right, so on his turn 5, I've done nothing. He's blasting me. I've taken my enfeeble. he hits
Oh, yeah.
2 again.
But
I'll
you
block one of it.
Okay.
And take 1. There we
Okay.
are. And then I get my 2 dice back because my cooldown's still at 2.
And now we go to here.
And so I
which
get a bad
Is it at
die.
the end? Is it at the end? Go ahead and throw an over fatigue at the end. I could be. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong, but
So we take an over fatigue, and then I'm going to make my attack.
Engage.
And we're either going to run out of here if I fail, or we're going to roll 2 hits. Those are the choices. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
He blocks this one. I get a tenacity, and I think it's just give up time.
And run
I don't
away?
even have any shields.
He is going to attack you one more time, just so you know.
Hopefully he won't roll a 2.
Yes. That's right. Okay. And so he will get within 3 range. 1, 2, 3. He can move right here.
Enfeeble me.
Enfeeble you. Yep.
And
Oh,
I
that's a
take
1. Okay. It's the beginning. You would take another over fatigue, but we're not going to worry about that now.
Boop.
You are here at the exit. You've escaped. Escape first. That is Cliff. Now, technically dying, I would feel like my soul escaped. Am I right? So my soul escaped. All right, I'll give it to Cliff. Escape first. Okay. Gain an over fatigue to the end.
And then take true damage for each over fatigue in the cooldown.
So what you're telling me is we died?
Neither of us escaped. Neither of us escaped, or even really came close.
So what you're telling us is we died.
Died very badly
A horrible
to
death.
the Argonian. They probably should have recruited this guy to their cause.
Okay, how long have we been doing this?
1 hour, I think.
It's been 1 hour?
1 hour.
Now I did a lot of talking, right? We don't need to talk so much now. We can just do action. Were they here or here? They were here.
Here, oh, maybe. Yeah.
Well, no, they were here. You're right. They were here. Here and here.
All right, that was a practice round.
Yep. We're gonna run through it. Now we're gonna go with the quickness. Now we're serious. Everything else is a joke. Now we're serious. Bing, 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 bing,
Combat.
bing, 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 bing. I'm feeling really good about this right now.
My only weakness was damage.
Yep. Let's get some chips under there. You got it. All right. And then I'm here. I got 4 health. All right.
All right, we had a nightmare in the prison about how bad things could go.
Right.
I'm going to reset my tenacity to 0.
Yeah. I'll do the same.
All right, now,
Yeah.
let's try this again.
If you were in the escape hex, you should be able to trigger the escape before the over fatigue. But you never took one for the first
I
time.
didn't take my unpreventable damage the other time, unfortunately.
Yep. We're doing it again, Andrew.
We're trying.
All right. You want me to go first again? That worked out so well last time.
We had a great plan.
How about you go first?
Okay. What if I actually hurt this guy this time, and then you can come over and finish him off?
Yes.
I think it's still a reasonable plan.
I like it because, yeah, exactly. All right. Your move. Now you're engaged.
Hey,
Now, look at this.
He slaughtered
Look at this.
that guy.
2, 4,
5 damage.
5. He blocks
And he
1.
doesn't. No, he doesn't block or dodge any of it
Wow.
because I didn't really miss this time.
So we're going to do this over again. High Elf Bandit is now, that was you already, okay?
And then, but I went first now. Whatever
you went
that's-
first,
That's
okay.
worth. And then
So
these
Cliff.
shields go up here, and this one goes into the exhaust area.
That was beautiful.
There we go.
That was
It's almost like this was built to help us and
Right.
not be as difficult as we made it.
Should we let the cat out of the bag? We really did everything we could to lose that first one. Now we're going to show you how it's done. All right? I was cute, but now you're going to see how it's done. All right. So I need to get within 3. I can just go here. You know what? I don't want to go there. I want to move 2.
He's gonna hit you back either way.
He'll hit me either way.
Yeah.
I'm
Unless
gonna-
you blast him.
Unless I blast him to smithereens, and we all know how well that's gone. All right, so here we go. Yes!
He blocks it.
Terrible. I might start rolling combat dice.
All right.
All right.
And then he goes and he enfeebles you, but he doesn't move to me, right?
Well, no. Oh no, you're right. If he has a target that's already in range, he will not move. So he enfeebles me. If you can hand me a light fatigue,
Of course.
And then he's going to roll a combat die. And let's see what he does to me. He hits me for 1. I will take that damage. All right. And now we are in round number 2. All right. Take my skill dice back.
Is there any way for you to get out of range of him? Like maybe you could blast him and then run out of his range?
Well,
and
I
I'll
could.
get in
I
his
mean, it'd
range?
be very easy for me to just 1, 2, 3. I mean, I could go 1, 2, 1, 2, and just don't engage.
I was thinking you shoot him while you are engaged and then run away from his engagement range, and then I'll take some damage so
Okay.
you don't keep getting all the fatigue.
This is why you're a World Series of board game player. All right, so I'm going to. You're saying just go at him first.
Yeah, give him a little staff and then head off.
I don't know. I'm telling you, this straft is not very destructible or destructive. It's very destructible. It falls apart in my hands. Shoddy workmanship, I'm sorry to say.
They probably damaged it at the prison.
I'm going to talk to the manager about this destruction staff. I expect better at Ross Trust for Less. Here we go. Let's go! Okay, that's
1 and
definitely
1.
not a good one.
No, and then he blocks the other one.
Okay, yep. I am done with the destruction staff. I refuse. Okay, so I get 2 tenacity. And I think I take one of us takes a damage for this.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll take that.
Thank
that
you.
actually puts my die back in a useful spot. So.
All right, beautiful. All right. So yeah, that was terrible.
Is it unpreventable damage?
Yes.
Or if it's unpreventable, then I will take it.
It's true damage. Yeah.
True damage. Mm-hmm. And then you just want to move 1 this way.
I do. Yeah, 1 that way. You think? Yeah, I guess.
Because it's still in range if we come up this way.
Right.
Still. But then
that's not going to work because he's not in range of you.
I'm going to go next.
Oh, you're going to go towards him?
Yeah,
I
I'll
love
run
everything
towards him.
about it.
I think I'll just run in there, and then maybe you can go get the... Oh, they said I can do it in my move, but...
Yeah.
Well, I'll go 1, 2, 3, go next to him. Just going to roll 1 die, see how it goes. 1 damage, he blocks it.
Okay.
That was probably as it was foretold.
Okay.
And then he's going to go, so he's going to enfeeble me, but not you this time.
All right, you
And
want to
then
roll that?
He's going to blast
can block.
at me.
Oh, look, it exists. It exists. There is a no-hit sign.
And then we get our dice back.
We get our dice back. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and discard that light fatigue.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And then it's turn 3.
It is turn 3.
And then whichever of us wants to go.
So,
I need him to hurt me before I can do stuff.
right, I see. 1, 2. Yeah, because no, my combat. I couldn't have been using my. I'd have to be right next to him to use my combat die, and I'd have to change my stance. So I think
The chat is suggesting that we just run.
That I
away,
would just
'cause
run?
We can't beat this guy. He's too
1,
tough.
2.
3,
1,
4,
2.
and then you're not within.
I'm not within range.
That's pretty good. He's gonna enfeeble me, so I'm only gonna get 1 die back anyway. I'm gonna go play with this thing.
Do it.
Should we do the bow again, or
Yeah, I
something
think
new?
you can escape right now.
Yeah, I could go 1, do the thing, 2, 3.
It'll be at the beginning of your next turn.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an option.
Yep.
Or we can, whichever way. Should I do a new card?
Do a new card.
New card. All right. A 2, a 4, and a 1 is what we're looking for.
Yep. Mike, it said you did 2 damage?
Is that from before?
Maybe that was from before.
Yeah, that was from the first battle.
Yeah, because the one I rolled is gain 2 tenacity and deal 1 true damage to 1 adventurer. Yeah. Yep.
And then 4.
That's only 1 light fatigue.
Mathematically, we roll again. Math hurt us there. But if we're running out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. We're getting the heck out of Dodge.
I think I could get out, but it doesn't really make sense for me to get out before you. So what happens to this card? We just didn't pick it and this goes away?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did pick it.
You did pick it.
I did
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
the fatigue.
Yep.
So then we're
What
going
did
to
you
now
get?
have a sparring manual.
Ooh.
When visiting a trainer, you may train a skill type.
If you don't mind, I'm going to put it up
Aligning
here.
your
You can read it
choice.
on the. You can write it,
Yeah,
read it on
for
the
sure.
screen.
Skill line of your choice from the bag instead. Alternatively, instead of training a skill line, you may discard this item to untrain a type skill die and then train a skill die in the same line. So it's just more for the campaign leveling up. That'd be a great thing to get early on, help you advance.
Oh. Yeah.
So the destruction staff isn't terrible. It's operator error.
That is operator error. It's because it shows a 1 up here. But yes, this does 2 damage.
Good catch.
Okay, so we
everyone.
should have done one to him, right?
Yep, at least one.
Yeah, sorry.
At least one.
All right. Yeah, so I definitely have been doing that wrong. That's okay.
I'll slide in my sparring manual.
Yeah, put it in there. Why not?
That makes sense.
Okay.
That you're right. The dice says a 1.
Yes.
But it does 2 damage. They are correct.
They, as always, they're correct. Okay.
And then I'll just stay in range so he doesn't move toward you, and I'll suck up some
I've got
damage.
3. I'm not too worried about it. Like, all we have to do is get here and stay there at the beginning of our next turn without
Well,
being
now
killed.
that your thing does actual damage, we might actually fight him.
Okay. Do it. Okay.
So we're good. He engages me. I take a fatigue, and then he rolls, and
okay,
I'll
now you
block
can get
it.
one of those. All right. You're not going to have access to it right away.
And then we do this.
We're in round 4. Yep. All right. I am currently
So, yeah,
out of range,
I guess
but
we have to
if I go
decide.
1, 2, I can still.
Yeah, he'll blast you too, but you're threatening to get away, so
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Let's do it! Now I'm feeling so much more confident. That's fantastic!
1 tenacity.
Can I explain to you
1 true
that this
damage.
die face is on 1 of the 6 sides? How many times have I rolled that face?
Almost every time you
Almost every time. And this also does no damage.
I think it's time.
Not only does this not do damage, it deals damage.
I'll take it.
My gosh, this stupid destruction staff. I hate everything about it. All right.
I'm gonna say it's time to.
Yeah,
time to
let's
go.
just let him shoot at us as we get the heck out of
So we
here.
each take one of these for
Yes.
being enfeebled. Yes, there you are. He's gonna roll at us.
Staff.
We're gonna block it here. You're gonna take one.
I'll take one.
We get
and now,
2 dice back, but
right.
it's time to go.
And now we're at round 5, and we have escaped. Who took the last turn?
I
did.
took the last turn.
Okay, so Cliff.
The last turn.
Oh, do we remember who took the first damage from an enemy at range 2?
You did. You took the first range damage.
Okay. And did you take a damage next to? No, so no one did that one. We did defeat the High Elf Bandit, but not the Argonian Bandit. Okay. Yeah. The Chip Theory wants to assure everyone there are actually, in fact, sides of that die that do damage, just not when I'm wielding it.
I love the destruction staff.
All right, so we did finally get through this. And so now what we would do is normally after you complete something like this, you would claim rewards, but we're doing something a little bit different, all right? We are going to be getting class rewards, all right? So based upon the achievements that were completed, we're going to be able to have certain things that we can look at. So Cliff defeated the High Elf Bandit. He escaped first. He took the first turn. He took the last turn. And all I did was take damage. Taking damage. I did that well. I'm good at that. Not killing anybody. Not getting out first. Not any of this stuff. The stuff that hurts and hits. All right. So let's look. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the different potential classes we could be, right? And I'm not going to include the ones from the Valenwood expansion, although we have them. I just don't have access to them right in front of me. So you defeated the High Elf Bandit. So one of the choices you could have would be a sorcerer, all right? And so when you look at these different classes, what these are going to do is they're going to give you some special abilities that you can use. You can spend your tenacity. You notice I've been talking about, oh, I gain tenacity. It doesn't do anything for me here. Well, this is when it would do something, is when you start to choose your classes, okay? Because you can spend that tenacity to do some really, really cool, powerful effects. And you can even upgrade. This is a novice sorcerer. You can become a master sorcerer, and then your abilities become even more devastating, right? So he would have an option of a sorcerer based off of this. The escaping first. You could also, looks like you can be a bard if you wanted to, right? Maybe Cliff wants to be a bard. He has this Red Mountain drinking song, right? I know that one. Oh, Red Mountain! Right? Maybe be a master. We got that. All right. So, these are what you're trying. These are the things you can do. There's all kinds. I mean, look at what. Oh my God! There's so many classes, right? Lots of classes, and so this is just another way that you can personalize your character, make it more unique, make it more asymmetric. Cliff, I think it's fair to say that you were the MVP. It's almost like you were watching a solo game today, folks. Except a solo game with somebody impeding the progress of the solo player. Anyway, thank you so much for your invaluable help, and thank you Chip Theory Games for letting us show off these super cool new goodies and deluxe components, and for answering questions in the chat.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.